Have you ever witnessed a public figure step onto a stage, armed with nothing but a lie, and watched in real time as the floor beneath them begins to crumble? That moment of suspension, where the truth gathers like a storm, and the only sound is the ticking clock before the collapse? What you're about to hear is the story of one such collapse, a media apology that backfired so spectacularly. It didn't just damage a reputation. It ignited a firestorm that is now lapping at the very gates of the British media establishment. And at the heart of it all is a woman who has, perhaps more than any other royal in modern history, become a lightning rod for both vicious attacks and fierce defense. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. If you're fascinated by these high-stakes battles where media, monarchy, and public perception collide, you're in the right place. Welcome to Royal Report 24/7. To make sure you never miss a moment of our unfolding coverage, do us a favor, tap that subscribe button and hit the bell. What we're tracking now is moving fast, and sharing this analysis could change the entire conversation. The fuse was lit, as it so often is with a column. Not just any column, but a piece by veteran commentator Carole Malone in the Sunday Express. The target, as has become a grim pattern, was Meghan. But this time, the arrow was aimed not just at the Duchess, but through her, at a figure who has largely remained in the shadows, a figure of quiet dignity. Doria Ragland, Meghan's mother. The specific claim, now widely circulated and dissected, alleged that there was a, quote, big problem with Doria, that she was a disruptive presence, and that her relationship with her daughter was far more strained than the serene image presented to the world. For days, the claims sat there, pulsing in the ecosystem of royal commentary. It was picked up, repeated, debated. Then, Meghan's world responded. Not with a statement from a glossy California PR firm, but through the quiet, formidable legal channels of Schillings, a London law firm known for its fierce protection of client reputations. It stated Malone was sorry if Ms. Ragland was offended, a classic rhetorical dodge that shifts the blame to the injured party for being sensitive. It did not retract the core claim with clarity. It simply regretted the interpretation. The internet, as you can imagine, did not receive this well. The backlash was immediate and volcanic. Social media platforms erupted with the hashtag #FireCaroleMalone. Thousands of comments condemned the act as cowardly, cruel, and emblematic of a deeper sickness in certain sections of the British press. But this is more than just an online mob with pitchforks. This backlash has a coherent, damning argument behind it, that targeting Doria Ragland, a black woman with no public profile, no wealth, and no power, who has never sought the spotlight, represents a crossing of a fundamental line. It's seen as an attempt to wound Meghan by attacking the one person who represents her most foundational, unbreakable bond, her family. And this is where our analysis at Royal Report 24/7 must zoom out from the immediate crisis of one columnist and look at the wider chessboard. Because according to several royal commentators and insiders who speak off the record, this incident is not happening in a vacuum. It is reverberating through palaces and newsrooms alike. Let's start with the Sussex camp. Sources close to the couple suggest this is a textbook example of why they left the UK and why they remain so deeply distrustful of the media apparatus. The king, we are reminded, is attempting to execute a delicate, slimmed-down monarchy focused on core duties. He does not need, nor does he want, a raging culture war ignited by freelance commentators dominating the headlines. There is said to be a feeling of intense frustration that the actions of external players continually pull the institution back into dramas it is desperately trying to move beyond. Furthermore, the racial undertones of attacking Doria Ragland are a nightmare for a monarchy still grappling with the fallout of the Sussex's allegations of racism within the institution. Every such incident, palace aides reportedly worry, makes those past allegations feel more credible to a global audience. But what of Catherine, the Princess of Wales? She's often positioned, fairly or not, as Meghan's opposite in the media narrative, the one who got it right. Insiders suggest that within her circle, there is a recognition of the sheer ugliness of this situation. While their paths and choices are worlds apart, The targeting of a mother, a family, is understood on a human level as a horrifying overreach. It's a reminder that the beast, once fed, can turn on anyone. The apology's failure has become a case study in how not to handle a legal complaint. The speculation now is about internal pressures. Will the Express management decide she has become a liability? Is this a moment where a line is finally drawn, where the financial and reputational cost of such controversies outweighs the buzz they generate? Some insiders whisper that quieter, older forces within the British press are weary of this cycle. They see it as corrosive to whatever public trust remains, and commercially risky in an era where lawsuits are fought and won in the court of public opinion as much as an illegal one to understand the true weight of this moment. We have to rewind the tape. Remember the lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday for publishing Meghan's private letter? That was a direct, surgical strike against a specific action. This feels different. They cannot be sanctioned by the palace for speaking out. They have their own significant resources and platforms. They are, in essence, free agents in this conflict. By lawyering up so swiftly and targeting the apology itself as inadequate, they're signaling a new phase, one of aggressive, zero-tolerance legal accountability. They're forcing a confrontation the old media playbook isn't designed to handle. So, where does this leave Carole Malone? Her apology has collapsed under the weight of its own insincerity. The calls for her firing are a deafening roar in the digital town square. But beyond her personal fate lies a bigger story. This is a stress test for the system. Can the media troll and survive in an age of empowered subjects who fight back with American-style legal ferocity? Can a monarchy continue its delicate dance of never complain, never explain, when the explosions happen just outside its gates, threatening to scorch its own carefully tended reputation? The silence from Buckingham Palace is, as always, deafening. But sources suggest the anxiety is palpable. The next move is crucial. Will the Express make another, more abject statement? Will Malone disappear from the public eye for a time? Or will she double down, casting herself as a victim of woke mob censorship? Each path leads to a different future. Point one thing is certain. According to the whispers we're following here at Royal Report 24/7, the walls around the royal narrative are not just being knocked on anymore. They're being actively, strategically challenged. And the fallout from this failed apology may well have created a crack through which a new, more combative dynamic will permanently emerge. The stakes are no longer just about headlines. They're about power, accountability, and the redefining of what is considered acceptable in the centuries-old shadow of the crown. The story is far from over. In fact, the most consequential chapters may be just beginning. To follow every twist, every insider revelation,